a year away from the midterm elections, and Donald Trump is doing more to help the Democratic Party than the Democrats are. And one of the problems the Democratic Party has is messaging. They're really horrible about getting their message out. Even if they are standing on the right things, they have a hard time getting the message out to the American people. And it's been a problem for the Democratic Party for years now. They are horrible at messaging, and they let the Republicans control the messaging that goes out there a lot of times. And it's a lot to do with there is a ton of conservative voices on YouTube and Spotify and Rumble. And Fox News is pretty much state-ran propaganda news that always defends Republicans and will carry Trump's water no matter what he says. Trump will say wild shit, and Fox News just doubles down on the lies and the wild shit. Like when Trump said that terrorists brought in $18 trillion to a country whose GDP is a hair over $30 trillion, so the math ain't mathin'. And then we go through and you find out it's hundreds of billions of dollars, which is still a lot of money, but that's all from a tax on the American people. And Americans aren't stupid. They knew we footed the bill for that. But yet Trump is out here talking about Democratic hoax when it comes to affordability, how he has an A+++++ rating on his presidency. No, I don't know how many pluses he put behind that, but he literally sounded like a kindergartner telling you how great they were in school. So Trump does this. He doubles down on the 18 trillion again. Every time he gets a chance, he talks about this phantom 18 trillion that never exists. Because again, the math ain't mathin' with a country whose GDP is a little over 30 trillion. And like I said, he made a few $100 million off of the tariffs. But again, we all know that's a tax on the American people, so that doesn't help. And then he's sitting there talking about gas prices and the stock market. Gas always fluctuates. And every time you're at the pump, no matter who it is, the American people are paying for some of that because there is subsidies to help keep gas prices down. So every time you pump a gallon of gas, depending on where we're at, X amount of that gas is being paid by the U.S. government to make sure that prices stay down. So the gas market is not indicative to how the economy is going. The stock market is not indicative to how the economy is affecting the average American. So like when there's a high stock market, then rich people are getting rich. And yes, retirement funds are going up, but we're at a place where majority of Americans do not have retirement funds. They don't have the extra income to pay a retirement fund. They're figuring out how to make ends meet today. They can't think about retirement. They can't think about 20, 30 years from now with the place they are financially. But Trump keeps doubling down on how affordability is a Democratic hoax. Well, how do you think the average American feels when they're at the grocery store and they see their grocery bill and they think back to a year or two ago when prices were still high, but it's cheaper than it was now? Anybody who goes out shopping, anybody who has to purchase anything, and this is a great time to talk about it, it's Christmas time. We see the rise in prices. We see that things are getting more expensive. But yet Dementia Don is over here telling everybody that the economy is great, that he has an A+++ on his first year as a president, and that, again, affordability is a Democratic hoax.